But during this particular battle in Joshua chapter 10, this is the only place in all of history that God ever made time stand still. Now, here's what that says, that perhaps there is a message in this that simply says to us that our lives are largely on hold until we conquer those things that hinder us from our own personal promised land. That was a battle that had to be fought, and they needed daylight to be able to win the battle. There are certain things that you need enlightenment in order to win the battle. And as long as there is light, you can prevail. And so they realize that if the cover of darkness comes, the advantages that we have had, we will lose. It is a sign of the darkness. The children of darkness of this world are taken over. But we are the children of the light. And if God has to cause time to stand still, to give advantage to his children, he will do that. Now, here's the time. We ought to really put a push pin, and that's why I wanted to talk about this, because here was the only time in history, it had never been done before and has never been done since, that God said, hold up. Because something was about to block God's people from the destiny that he had designed for their lives. Have you ever felt that your life was on hold? Things which you were working on, steadily praying about, trying to make it happen, and you tried this and it failed, and you tried that and it's failed, and your things just didn't take off the way that you thought that it was going to take off, the way you dreamed that it was going to take off, the way you prayed that it was going to take off. It just didn't happen that way, and you felt that things were on hold in your life, that God will sometimes cause time to stop. Because there's something that needs to be conquered. Because one thing is for sure, you don't want to go into your promised land carrying your enemy on your back. There are certain things, there's a reason, there is a reason. You may not understand the reason, but there's a reason for the holdup. God will hold up and give us more light to give us victory in our battles. So many of our battles are lost because we don't have sufficient light. Because we run out of the light, your understanding, your enlightenment. But I want to turn on the light. Is that okay? And we'll be able to see some things. But here we discovered the last time that these five kings, they are really a type of the counterfeit fivefold ministry. They can also be a type of our five senses. If you walk by your senses, you're going to get in trouble. If you walk by your feelings, you're going to get in trouble. You know why? Because you cannot educate your emotions. I get so weary. That's the thing that has wearied me with counseling people, is that you cannot educate their emotions. You give them all great wisdom and biblical counsel and biblical truth, and they'll walk out and obey their emotions. They'll walk out and obey. You know, they'll know that the person is no good for them, but I love him. Walk out and obey their emotions. Obey their emotions. The thing that keeps so many people from excellence in their life is because they're walking by their feelings. I just don't feel like getting up. I don't feel like practicing today. I don't feel like doing it. No. Maturity comes when you'll say, whether I feel like it or not, I'm going to do this because I know if I want what I want, I got to do this thing right now. I've got to do it whether I feel like it or not. Not doing it is not an option for me.